We back with another Create Mod video. In the last episode, we made the chorus flower farm that you see behind me. The tutorial video came out for this. Made this diorite and andesite farm that is also really kind of cool. As you can see, I added in a couple more sets of these. I forgot. Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. I forgot to put in the cobblestone ones for these 3 extra crafters, but they'll all go in and go straight into this item vault that'll drop out diorite for us. So we're basically doubling the effective speed of this because we added double the amount of crafters. I'm gonna guess that this thing is still gonna be full by the time we turn this thing on at full speed, but we can do that a little bit later in the episode because I have some interesting plans. Everything is kind of uggo. Specifically, the main base area here is pretty bland compared to the other builds and stuff. I feel like we can upgrade this and make everything look a little bit better. The difficulty with this kind of build is that this building is way more futuristic than this one, and I think they just don't fit style-wise. So I was thinking maybe we kind of tear part of this down and have it be more run down, more ruined, still working, but cared after less. And then these were built way later to kind of make up for this kind of deterioration of this building, and that's going to require some material gathering of like leaves, vines, what other things, lichen. I think glow lichen is actually going to work pretty well, and I want to get to a couple of kind of chore-esque tasks. Like you can see here, I've actually started lighting up the roof of this place, and the difference it makes is astonishing. You can actually see the ceiling instead of it just being dark and shadowy. So we're going to get a couple more end rods in here. This is like 1 stack of end rods that I've placed in here, and it looks like 12. So we're gonna need a bunch of those, but good thing we have the chorus flower farm. I'm gonna need to AFK the blaze farm a little bit to get all that such situated, and I just want to make this place in total a little bit prettier because again, no floor. How do we still have no floor? I think the first thing we want to do is set up a floor for in the hole, because if you remember a while ago I did a poll on what we should do there, and I think the winner was shroom lights with glass on top of it. So I guess let's start building that. But before we start building, I obviously needed to get some ingredients, and mostly shroom lights, a little bit of glass, but we have that automatic sand farm, so glass was easy. Shroom lights though, I hate with a passion. They're so annoying to get. You gotta fly around, get a bunch of stuff, and you have to go through the nether. It's horrible. But after that, it was pretty easy. We got all the shroom lights in. I used the wand, got the glass in. I think we did 5 or 6 layers of glass, and I think it looks great. After our handiwork, here is what it looks like. You can't actually really see it. If you squint, you can. But the benefit to this is that I can fly over this hole now. Before, if I ever got too low, I would sink all the way to the bottom and would have to break through it. So that's really good, and it still looks dope. Still looks menacing, still has its purpose of giving us lava. So that's all I really care about. But I'm glad this is finally in. It only took like 100 million episodes, and I think it looks pretty good. The second thing I want to do this episode is work on the courtyard with some custom trees that I don't know if they'll work. We want custom trees there anyway. It's been a while. The courtyard outside right now is bland. Like these walls are just dead and sad. There's nothing anywhere. So I guess let's get into custom tree making. And when I tell you that custom trees are not my forte, I don't think I could mean it anymore. This was my first attempt at like a big custom tree, and I'm just doing the stem and the branches in this time lapse, but I think it turned out pretty okay. I do run into a couple issues that you'll see in a second, but overall I think it's pretty good. And this is what the final, well, quotes because we don't have leaves, the final-ish product looks like. And I think I did a very good job for my first like decent size custom tree. We've made these. This is like a good warm up. They're very similar and cookie cutter-y. And I think this one is a good kind of transition into real trees. I'm curious now if I use the cherry leaves or just normal birch and oak ones. So I'm just gonna grab some oak ones, and I feel like birch is the only other option. I think spruce is going to be too dark, but I want to grab some birch ones and see what the color vibes look like here. Is that, I think that's just going to be too weird looking, but I guess let's try it out. I have silk touch on a hoe, so if this looks bad, you can always tear it apart, and I'm just gonna place a bunch in willy-nilly, not really thinking about it, because at the end of the day, it does not matter. Okay, so with a very basic bit of leaves here, this is what the color palette's gonna look like, and I honestly don't hate it. The leaves are pretty see-through, and we'll get some more air, especially into these parts, later. So I think it'll actually match pretty well with these flowered oak leaves, and I honestly think the bright pink would do too much, like if we did the bright pink cherry leaves. So I think this is a good combo. I'm curious what birch looks like. It's a little bit darker. Potentially we use these as like little shadows here and there. I think that can work pretty well. So I'm just gonna get in a little more depth and a little more air, because air is a really big thing that is difficult for me and definitely other people as well to do and get looking good. So I want to do a good job with that. And I think just getting in a couple of the birch leaves for shadows and then getting in a couple of the other leaf blocks will do quite a bit. All right, this is horrible looking, and I'm taking it all down. Not the branches. I think the branches are still good and have a good shape, but the leaves look horrible, and I honestly don't know how to fix it. So I'm just gonna not, and we're coming back to this later. But I am undoing all of this. This didn't take too long. It was mostly me futzing around and making it look bad, but oh my gosh, was that bad. It's difficult. I think the shape is incorrect, but I don't know how it's incorrect yet. So I'm gonna just come back to it and see what we get to eventually. But we have so many other things that we can be doing, and I think the shape by itself looks good, so I'm not too bummed about keeping it like this for a second. So we're back to the original shape. So many leaves that I have to pick up. And after looking it up, I do think the shape is kind of not great. I think if we were to, instead of having these weird branch offshoot things, we do something like this, where we break all of these things, and then instead here, I think we need it to go up a little bit more, and then have this same thing where we have 4 going out, but just rotate it. So we have something like this, and then trees go out here, and then we can bring this down and have it go like that, because that already looks a lot better. And I think if I replace this fence gate with a block, I lied. Let's do a stair. I think that'll look better. I'm so bad at this. All right, I think we have a shape like this. This one's bad. We're redoing that one. But I think we have a shape like this, so that at different heights we have different amount of leaves and stuff. And I think that'll maybe look better, but who knows? We have the leaves on now, and I definitely think this looks better. From this angle, maybe not so much, but all the angles other than that, I think it looks really good, at least from the bottom here. We could probably reduce the height of this thing to like that, and I think it'll look better. But I think overall, this is pretty good. The only issue now is that I think the pink doesn't fit. So I have some spruce, a lot of spruce. I have some spruce, and I think this is still going to work and still going to look good, but I want to switch all of the cherry over to spruce so that it looks even better. And then I'm also going to mix up what we have here. I think we're just going to like fill that in a little bit and then call it a day. But I think for my first try, this looks really good. Let me get down here. Ooh. Skadoosh. And I think from most angles, definitely from the bottom here, it looks pretty good, and I think it's gonna look even better when the wood matches the everything else. I died. So now we're going to get in the spruce, and then it'll be done. At least the first tree. We have at least 4 more to go, probably 7 more, but I think we're only doing 1 for right now. And I guess we could do a cool transition where like some stuff is happening and I'm talking to the camera and then it's already done or whatever. But I think that would be quite a pain editing wise. So, oh wait, I already did it. So yeah, this is the new build with the darker tree. And I think this does look better. I don't know what I'm doing over here. You have got to go. And I might do a little bit more tweaking here and there, but honestly, I think it's overall pretty okay. It looks better than nothing being here, which is really what we care about. I think I want to try one more tree over here, doing what I've learned from this one, and see if it looks any better. It should. I mean, this is a big tree and it's hard to build, but I think the next one's going to be better, and the next one after that, at least that is what happened with these. I think they do get better as they go along, so I suspect this one will be better, but I guess let's build it and see. And in this time lapse, I'm just going to talk about my thought process for the whole thing. Immediately, the branches are looking better, and then I go straight to shaping the outside of the tree, because at least for me, that's like the first thing that I see when I'm looking at a tree. And then once I'm done that, I go back in, add some details, remove some blocks on the outside to just get some asymmetry, and then add a bit of droopiness, and we're done. And this is the, well, semi-final outcome. I think it looks incredible. I'm actually going to remove this and maybe even that. And I think it looks really, really good from way more angles. So you saw at the very end there, I added in some more dangly bits. I think that really added to it. Instead of making it like a flat pancake like disc on top of the tree, it felt like it made it more integrated into it. And I think that's just because that's how gravity works. Things droop, especially on the end bits there. And I think it looks really good. We do need to get some more details in there, and I think the main two are going to be candles and sea pickles. I wanted to try either green candles or like lime green candles, and then separately red ones to see if like maybe they could be a fruit or an apple or something. And now that I built this one, I'm kind of bummed about how this one looks. The one thing that I prefer from that one to this one is the trunk. I think the trunk on this one looks a little bit healthier and this one looks a little bit skinny. So I'm going to actually really quick fix that. Stem is done. Tree is mostly done. We need to get some detailing in. I want to get some mangrove muddy roots for the base here, because that'll combine it in with the grass and make it look like it's not just plopped on top. I also want to get some rooted dirt and other things to make that look equally good. And then we're going to need to get some sea pickles and candles for the treetop area. And then I think they'll be good. And there we go. The ground is in. I think that makes it look just a little bit better. And then I want to do the same thing over here, which is now done. And now we can get on to pickles. I don't know where you find those. I suspect it's a warm ocean with like, or the coral reef, which is always found in warm oceans. I don't know. So let's get Old Faithful coral. Oh no. Oh no, I don't have a thing for that. Is it on my map? That's a coral. Okay. We need to go to Dark Mace. Wait. I think that's a... Oh, my pickaxe is almost dead. Who are you? Let's go to Dark Remembrance. This is the... Apparently, these villages spawn with waystones, which is great because now I can save one for coming here, but we have pickles, so that's how that works. I should have maybe brought bone meal, because I think if you bone meal them, they'll just pop off the stack. But in all honesty, I can just bone meal it at home and that'll be fine. I'm drowning. I honestly think 21's enough, especially if I can bone meal it. So let's see really quick if we can bone meal them. I should just be able to plop them in here. Uh-oh. I have to figure out how to get more pickles. All right, allegedly we need a sea coral block, but I brought bone meal so that we can just test the theory instead of teleporting to and fro. So, Mr. Sea Coral Pickle Sea. So I think if we do one and then yeet, yeah, okay. So it has to be on a coral. Good to know. Well, I guess let's steal a couple of these for future research. All right, I want to make quickly just a bone mealed sea pickle farm because I think it can fit in like this little area. So I'm going to try it out myself real quick to see if it works. Oh, I just found out something weird with redstone. So I'm using glass blocks here, and this is just a redstone clock. If I replace these glass blocks with spruce, I think I only need to replace one of them, it will stop working. Why is that? I have no idea. Oh, and whoa, and now it stops working over here, but if I bet, if I... That's so stupid. And if I start it again, it doesn't work anymore. That's hilarious. Okay. What if I move the sticky piston to the one over here? All right, so if we put this back now... Oh, wait, this is so strange. Oh, and now it just... Okay. Redstone too confusing. Do it. Follow tutorial now. All right, according to a XP Crafted tutorial from eons and eons ago, which 2 years, we just throw in one of these boys and then a quick sticky piston. I think this won't break anything, right? That doesn't power anything weird. Perfect. So that's going to be our power going in, and then we're going to need allegedly 2 dispensers, but I don't believe him. But I also don't know how his farm works. So maybe I should honestly believe him. I don't know. But if we have 2 dispensers going, one this way and the other one that way, then it'll be good. And then I want glass everywhere here because we're going to have water here, 2 coral blocks, and then over here, another piston. And this is going to be moving the coral block back and forth. And I think if we do something like this, this will power this boy. And then if we, yeah, cool. So that'll work. I'm curious if we need 2 dispensers, so I'm not going to put the other one in just yet. And now I think if I just throw a sea pickle on you and then try it. Oh, all right. Test numero dos. My lever ran away. But now test numero dos. This bad boy is working. I think we do want 2 dispensers in here, and I do need a hopper minecart. Okay, that's fine. We have almost a stack of pickles, and that's really what I care about. Now everything should be working. Let's empty out this thing. We'll see how many we get. I threw in quite a bit of bone meal, but let's just test it and see how much we get in like 10 seconds. Some pickles still float there. I think that's because this hopper minecart is a little bit too far over because I didn't use a wall. I used a trapdoor. Then we could scoot that over. It'll be in the way. Great. And then we'll cover this up. Blocks for the final time. I need my lever again. Bang. Beautiful. It's good enough for me. There's definitely a faster way to do this, but I honestly don't care. And we have over a stack, which is plenty. Now, sea pickles by themselves don't light up stuff because they only light up stuff underwater, which is kind of cool, but they're great for little additions here. And I don't know what I'm doing. I just heard from Pearlescent Moon that sea pickles and trees are cool. And that's what she recommends. So I'm just throwing in a bunch here and seeing what's popping. Let's see. Yeah. I mean, they're pretty simple, but pretty cool. I do want to get some candles in, potentially in the underside here, like a little hidden, so that the tree will like kind of glow at night. I think that'll be a really cool use of darkness and glowy boys. But I think the sea pickles by themselves add a little bit of bonus fun. I've already gone through a stack. Okay, maybe we need a little bit more than what I've already gotten. But this should tide us over enough for it to not be super annoying and ugly looking. All right, I've used all the pickles. I think it looks way better. Not way better. I think it looks marginally, like barely better, but still definitely better than what it did before. I'm gonna grab some honeycomb, and I think I need string, and that's all you need to make a candle, but I don't actually know. And then let's just grab some green dye. What other colors would be good? Potentially yellow or red or orange, which is a combination of the two if you have ever learned. I'm gonna do 10 of each for now. I don't know what colors are gonna be perfect. Can I re-dye stuff? The answer is no, so hopefully lime green is a good color. I think it will be if we use it as a highlight. Can't put candles on leaves? I guess it's like flammable or whatever, but that's kind of lame. What if we put candle on glass and then why not just let me put the candle anywhere? It looks like little leaves. Okay, what if they're lit on fire? I think on the outside it'll look bad. Yeah, I think that makes it look too much like a candle and not enough like a not candle. How do I put out a fire? But I think they look really good as an accent piece. And of course I need to continuously break and place down a stupid temporary block for them. Yeah, they definitely look really good. I hope they look good in the daytime, but if the nighttime's anything to go by, they're gonna work really, really well. All right, those are the light green candles. I want a couple over here, but I think we just throw some dark green on, a few here as well, and I think those will look good. Why would I put one right next to where the sea pickles are? Yeah, those look so good. Can I do multiple that a thing? I think it is, but I think I need to do it on a not stupid one for some reason. Yeah, that looks really good. I think the reason sea pickles are used more is because they're easier to place in when you're using a bunch of them, but for a little bit extra contrast, I think they're really, really cool. And then I'm gonna go on the inside of the trees and light up some candles, like on the bark and wood and bits. Okay, so if we get in a couple here, then light that bad boy up. Yeah, already that looks really good. The green isn't super necessary to make the candles green, but I do think that if you see them, they'll blend in a little bit better with the leaves. All right, those lights are now in. It's unfortunately daytime, so we can't really see them. Okay, that's gonna be too close to the edge. That's fine. There we go. We have light in the middle of these trees so that they light up the area a little bit. And I think these are looking pretty good, pretty detailed, which is something that I don't normally do, but I want to continue a little bit on making this building a little bit more decrepit. I think first and foremost, we want to, let me get up here. We want to break down this little corner here and just make it feel like a big old crater was taken out of it. And what do we think about that? I think that's a little bit too steep on this side, potentially, but maybe if we replace that with a stair. There we go, a little bit of a hole here, and then I want to get some leaves. And I was initially thinking just throwing in a bunch of spruce, but maybe mangrove could look cool here. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. I want to get some moss on the roof, and I need to get vines. I don't have any, and I swear I did, but I guess I don't. I don't know where it would have gone. The good thing about vines is that if you just place one, it'll spread everywhere. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then if I just throw in some moss blocks here, oh yeah, easy peasy. And then we have some vines in. I want to throw in one or two just over here. And I honestly think that's good. We want to get some buttons in just to control the vines, because if not, they will literally grow forever. But I think other than that, this little area is good, and I think a pretty good test. I want to continue this in some other places, but maybe what we do is we just go through here placing moss, and then maybe like just bone mealing this and seeing what it does. And I think already that makes it look so good. Oh my gosh, this wall was so bland and lame and boring. I think we need some more going like down and like snaking down like that. But I think this looks really good for what it used to be. What it used to be, for starters, was this, basically. And if we move over, you can already see it taking shape. I wanted this episode to come out last week, but I'm excited about this, and I don't want to split this up into 2 episodes. I think we just get all of the ruining done in this episode. I didn't think it was going to look this good. I didn't think it was going to make this building look like quality-wise as good as the other ones. This was, I think, my first ever real large building that I've ever made in Minecraft. I've like always made like little projects that have failed, but this is like the first real one, and it was an okay start. And then we leveled up more, we leveled up the most, and now we're coming back to basics. We just need to make this look ruined, and in the process making it look really good. I think what we want a little bit more here is to do one of these, and let's see what that looks like. And honestly, I think the ruining will do best in a little time lapse. So I suppose let's get this started. Wow, another time lapse, another bit of me talking. That's what a YouTube video is about. I don't even know really what to talk about in this. I think the craziest thing is how much of a difference adding just a bunch of plants and stuff makes to it. You can see I already finished the front of it. This little side bit is now done as well. And then I went straight to the roof. I've decided that doing the back is for losers. I'm a YouTuber. You can't finish the back of a base. That's not how YouTube works. So I just did the top, but that's the end of the time lapse. So let's get back to the world. And oh my goodness, look at the transformation that has occurred in just one episode. We got the foothold in for the courtyard. These are going to take a while. I think this one took me an hour. This one took me an hour and a half. So at least 6 more hours worth of tree placing and beautifying for the courtyard. I want to change this whole fountain probably to like a little statue thing instead. I think that would look better. But the main star of the show, this looks great. This looks incredible. I, as I mentioned in the time lapse, only did kind of 2-3 of the 5 sides because it's a square, but I didn't really do the back. It's good enough. I also didn't really do over here, and I feel like, just vibes-wise, this kind of dome area should have less garbage than everywhere else, but on the inside, it still looks cool. I did a little bit of work dropping leaves down in certain parts, as you can see, and I think that makes it look really, really good from the inside. And like, I love this from the inside here. It looks so cool. And then down here, we also have some stuff, but it's not too overbearing. Obviously, a lot at the entranceway, but I think that makes a little bit of sense. And I just think it looks so cool. Let's actually take a quick look at what these trees look like in the nighttime, because we didn't actually look at them when they had the candles in, because it became daytime too quickly. I think this looks good. It glows just enough. This one a little bit more. I think we had more space to place down some candles in there, but I think those both look really good. This fountain needs to change. It's too 2012, but we'll be able to change that maybe next episode, maybe not. But the base is coming along. It is getting more lively. We're getting a story of like, this used to be the main factory. Nobody cares about it. It is getting run down. We built a brand new one that generates a ton more power, even though this is our actual power generation one. This generates a ton more with the big tubes and the big cube. And then we have a train station that is being upkept because it is still useful and functioning just to connect with the barn. We still have a lot of terraforming and stuff to do, but these are big steps. I want to finish the courtyard by next episode. This fountain's got to go. It's got to be replaced by something. I don't know what. And then I want to get the rest of the trees in, the rest of the courtyard in, because we're not just doing 8 trees in here. We're going to have some little bushes, a little bit of maybe benches. I don't know. I'm going to just look up what a courtyard looks like and do that. Crazy amount of building, crazy amount of progress. I think I've gotten better at organics, and I'm just going to get better. So stay tuned for that. Another thing, inventory, crazy. This is horrible to look at. I wanted to show you before I put it all away, just to show you how great storage drawers are. That is way better. And we can put these away as well. And we just have these copper slabs. I'm curious if you can unwax them. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to do this in between episodes. The ceiling bits that are next to the ruins, I am going to convert over to blue. And that's just going to be how it is. But I think that'll make it look even better. And I love that I unwaxed all this copper last episode, or this episode? Last episode, I think. And now I'm going to make all of it go back to the most oxidized version of itself. Enough rambling. That's it for this episode. Like and subscribe if you got to this point. It's episode 38 or whatever. So subscribe. Do it. All right. Peace.